Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to the MBA Executive MBA Program webinar. Thank you for joining today. Our webinar will last approximately 1 hour. There will be plenty of time for you to ask questions during the course of the hour. And please feel free, if you have a question, you can always put it in chat, and we will be sure to answer the questions in chat as well as live questions from the audience. So again, thank you all for joining. My name is Robert Schaffner, and I am the MBA Program Director and also a lecturer in the Ageno School of Business, where the MBA program is housed at Golden Gate University. Our agenda for today is to talk about why choose Golden Gate University, some of the traditional MBA program features, our executive MBA program features, and really to let you know that four-year education, not only in choosing program, but in terms of choosing modality, in terms of how you access your education, the choice is really yours. And then certainly we'll end up with some questions at the end of the hour. So let's begin. Golden Gate University is a higher education institution that has been serving students since 1901, and specifically focusing on adult learners. One of the things you'll get from your education at Golden Gate is the applicability of the material you learn in class to the real world. So not only are you going to learn the theory of management, theory of information technology, all those type things, you're also going to learn, how do I take what I learned in the classroom and apply it to my work setting, apply it to the real world? We have a experienced industry-leading faculty comprised of adjunct professors. So oftentimes you're going to have a professor that one, they all have a master's degree or higher in their educational background, but also they are working in the fields that they're teaching about. So you're going to have the benefit of what they're actually doing in the workplace, how it relates to you, how you can relate back to your work. We have relationships with industry firms throughout the greater Bay Area, both in the San Francisco Bay Area as well as Silicon Valley. There are over 70,000 alumni of Golden Gate University, both domestically as well as internationally. As I said, you're going to have many choices for your study options, and we'll go over those today, but there's in-person, there's fully online, or there's a blended or web conference way of accessing your studies. And we have 3 rolling terms, academic terms being fall, spring, and summer, and you can enroll in any of those terms. So you get to choose when you want to start your education. So how can an MBA help your career? First, there's higher salary potential. There's a lot of talk about, is higher education worth it? Literally, as you get a higher education degree, you are potentially adding on multiple 6 figures, if not 7 figures, additional income for your career. The return on investment in the MBA program at Golden Gate is about 100%. So as you, the total cost is around $49,000 for an MBA, but you're going to earn somewhere between $94,000, $95,000 as a beginning salary. So there's an excellent return on investment, higher salary potential. You have the ability to become your own boss. At some point during your career, you most likely will do something entrepreneurial. Couple reasons why. One may be that that's what you want to do. You want to be your own boss. But secondly, as you've seen in the world today, there's downsizing that goes on from time to time. Not because you're not doing a good job, but you're one of the people that got downsized. You still have to provide for yourself, provide for your family. The next job may not be right around the corner. So you may have to do something entrepreneurial while you're looking for your next career opportunity. There's certainly more and better career opportunities. You'll see that people are looking for MBAs. They're looking for people that have management knowledge, business knowledge. So great career opportunities. There's access to professional networks within the university through various clubs that we have at the university, but as well as accessing networks through LinkedIn, through other sites like that, where you can connect with individuals, one, who perhaps have an MBA degree or have similar interests to your interests. So that's the opportunity there. Improve credibility and brand. When you talk to someone and you say you have an MBA, they take notice. It may be on your business card. They'll take notice of that. Wonder what you studied. So your own personal brand, your own personal credibility. Education today is about boosting your skill set and your knowledge. Used to be that we thought about education of did high school, maybe I got an undergraduate degree, maybe I went and got a graduate degree, and then I'm done. Well, each of those is a milestone. They're important in your educational journey, but education now is a lifelong journey. There's always something new to learn. The way the world looked in 2009, pre-COVID, the way the world looks today, post-COVID, is different. There were certainly things to learn along the way. And so this MBA is going to help you broaden your skill set, your knowledge, and you'll continue on with your education that can keep on adding on additional skills that are necessary to be competitive in today's workplace. And there's your own personal development. You may be doing it just because this is something you want to do for yourself, so your own personal development. So we're going to talk about the traditional MBA program, and I'm also towards the tail end of the program going to talk about the executive MBA. But let's focus on the three columns to the left here. And what you see across the top is different modalities to be able to pursue your MBA. Online is 100% online. You're never going to be on campus. You will not be in a classroom, so you're going to access your information for each course in an online environment. A hybrid MBA is where you're going to do some online and some in person, or some online and some via Zoom. So it's not just entirely just asynchronous or online, but you have the chance to interact with professors in a Zoom environment, much as we're doing today. And then there is the opportunity to pursue your MBA in person. If you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, perhaps you're in some part of this greater Bay Area, you want to actually come to our campus and pursue some of your courses in person, that's an opportunity. About 20% to 30% of the courses that people take in the program, they may take in an in-person environment and really utilize the other two environments there for their education. Online is anywhere in the world. So you can be in Turkey, you can be in Australia and still pursue your MBA degree, access your education. Hybrid is online and Zoom. And so what I want you to be aware of there is that the Zoom sessions run at some identified times, i.e. this webinar was at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. So we have two class sessions, one running from 4 p.m. to 6:40 p.m. and the other one from 6:50 to 9:30 p.m. That's when the Zoom will take place. You'll also see that those same times are identified in the in-person sessions. Classes are offered primarily on weekdays, although we do have some classes that are offered on Saturday also. Our term length right now is 15 weeks. Tuition is $49,000 to $51,820. The difference between the two figures is that there are some foundational courses that you need to have so you have a good grounding for the program. Some individuals have already taken those foundation courses at undergraduate institution. They've taken them recently and they don't need to take those courses. And so you can reduce your tuition in that way. Books are $4,000, and that's an approximate figure, a high figure. At Golden Gate, we're constantly looking for ways to have open source textbooks so that we can reduce your overall cost for books. They are expensive. I mentioned the foundation courses, so there are transfer credits available to transfer in so that you don't need to take those courses in your education. 10 concentrations. Courses are 14 to 17, and the average length of completion is 2.1 years or 25 months. So it's a flexible program, 13 to 15 courses to complete the curriculum. You can choose a concentration from 11 fields of study. You're going to take the courses at your own pace. So you may say, geez, I got a really demanding job. I just started a family. I still want to pursue my education. I can't do 3 courses in a semester. Right, for this particular semester, this particular point in time, I can do 1 course. And then maybe the course after that, geez, I've gotten acclimated, I've got things that are set up a little bit more, I can do 2. There's no set way that you have to do this. You can pursue 3 at a time. The next semester you might do 1, the following semester you might do 2. You'll have an academic advisor that will work with you to map out your course of study and the pace that you're going to pursue your education at. As I said before, you can take courses in person, online, or a combination of the 2. You see the class times as well as the 3 terms that I spoke about. Let's talk a little bit about the curriculum for the program. And this curriculum is designed to have you have an enterprise view of business. And so it's designed to take you, you may be involved in marketing, you may be involved in operations, you may be involved in information technology or something else within the business that you're working in today. So you've got that specialized knowledge about that area. This program is going to broaden your knowledge to have you think about the entire business enterprise. How do all these different pieces work together to make a successful business, a well-functioning business? So when you see financial information, you're going to know how those numbers got there, why they're important, how the business is financing itself, how that relates back to marketing programs we're getting ready to institute. So let me just take you through the curriculum quickly. Foundation programs, there's 2. There's Business 202, which is Business Fundamentals. That course is going to cover micro and macroeconomics. Economics is a key discipline that you need to understand business. It's also going to cover financial accounting, which is the language of business. So as you make a sale, that you know that the sales are recorded on the profit and loss statement, but there's also a corresponding entry depending upon whether you sold for cash or sold on a credit basis that gets to your balance sheet. So you're going to understand the relationships between the financial statements that every business has, including a cash flow statement. So there's the financial accounting, and then there is some basic finance, just some fundamental, foundational information you need to know about finance. So that's what that course covers. Data analysis for managers is really statistics. You will use statistical analysis a lot during the program. And so this course is taught utilizing Excel for the data analysis. You'll be doing that as well as having some introduction to regression analysis. And again, during the course of your studies at the university, you'll be using regression analysis for some projects that you'll be working on. So that's the foundation, and it's 6 units. The core program is 7 courses or 21 units. So each course is 3 units. Leadership 300 talks about management and leadership. What are the 4 dimensions of management, of which leadership is one, but organizing, planning, controlling, those are the other 3 dimensions of management. You're going to learn why management's so important. There's a crying need for managers within every walk of life today, whether it be nonprofit, government, and or for-profit businesses. Management is a critical skill that is needed. And then leadership is also needed, and you'll begin to understand the differences between the two. Every manager has to have some leadership skills. Sometimes a leader does not necessarily a great manager. So you'll understand the differences and why both are needed in the world today. Leadership 300 is teams and organizations, and work today gets done in teams. The days of individual contributors that sort of work by themselves, got work done, maybe checked in with someone every once in a while, was sort of in our rearview mirror. We are really focused in on how we get things done in a team environment. I encourage you to think about, in the last few years, we at warp speed developed COVID vaccines that were able to be rolled out to society inside of a year from the onset of the pandemic. But that took great teamwork. That took teams in one location, but teams around the world coming together to address an issue. And so how teams are formed, how you become a high-performing team, these are some things that, and different structures of teams, you'll learn in that course. Foundations of Business Analytics is going to take you through just giving you a foundation of business analytics and what's involved in that. You're going to learn about AI, you're going to learn about cloud computing, you're going to learn about how to utilize information to make analytical decisions for the business. So it's going to take you through all the different ways that that's accomplished. It's an important field. It's a field that is growing rapidly. So we wanted to give you a good grounding in the understanding of business analytics. Information technology is another language of business and another way that IT is in every single business. Can be simple, can be complex. This is part of all of you being online here. Yes, we're using a Zoom platform, but in order to make sure that that Zoom platform is secure, that it's able to deliver information in the proper manner, we have behind the scenes our information technology. There is a ton of information in the world today, or a ton of data, let me put it that way. There's more data than we know what to do with. But how do we take data and turn it into useful information to make business decisions with? That's part of the function of information technology. Operations and supply chain is, you may not think a lot of times about what are the operations of the business. How do we ensure, if we're manufacturing something, how do we ensure that we have the raw materials necessary for manufacturing? Once we've manufactured something, what's the process to get it packaged, to get it shipped, to send it out to customers ultimately? Do we send the intermediaries, or do we send direct to consumers? How might we interface with Amazon? Could be any number of things, but that's the operational aspect of the business. Very, very key to make sure that whatever you're selling, product and or service, ultimately is out to your end user so that you can produce revenue for the business. And supply chain is key to make sure you have the things necessary for your business to be able to operate, but also that you're able to get your products out in a timely manner to your ultimate end users. Finance. So I've taken you through information technology, operations, finance, and marketing. So these are the big four in any business. Finance obviously deals with the numbers, and it will go through a number of things from how is a business financing itself? Is it financing itself on short-term lines of credit? Does it have a longer-term finance of term financing, bond financing? Is it going to market for financing? Different things like that. What are the strategies that are being employed in the business from a financial aspect? You will know at the end of this course, how do those numbers get on the page? So when someone's doing a presentation and they start talking about the numbers in the business for the finances, you'll understand how those numbers were developed, where they came from, what they mean. Marketing management, I don't know of any business that can be successful if it doesn't market its products and services. So you're going to get the basic building blocks of understanding marketing, what comprises a marketing campaign, the difference between primary and secondary market research, that sales is a part of marketing, but it's at the tail end. How does business development fit in? What's going on with digital marketing? How does marketing via social media impact the business today? Again, a holistic view of marketing and its impact in business. So that's the core program. We have a contextual core, which is 9 units or 3 courses. Those courses are context of business, which talks about corporate social responsibility and ethics in business. 2 key topics. 1, we want to have ethical business leaders. That's what we're training you to be. And also corporate social responsibility talks about that there is something beyond just earning money for the business. It used to be that the sole purpose of business was to make money, deliver profits back to shareholders. But thinking has changed, and there's some other aspects to the business in terms of employee stakeholders, customer stakeholders, how a business interacts with government, what's the business's responsibility to the environment, to having green business practices. So you're going to learn a lot in this course about modern business today, and what its responsibility is to its various stakeholders. Strategic analysis and design is focused in on how do you design a winning strategy for your business? What's involved in that? Who's responsible for that? Many times you would say, well, that's the senior leaders. The senior leaders set the strategy and design for a business, and then we other people just carry it out. But really great strategies are designed not only from the senior leadership point of view, but also from employees who are far closer to customers than senior leaders. Also may involve input from customers, from suppliers, from the communities that the business operates in to come up with what's going to be that strategy. And once you develop the strategy, then how do you know it's working? So what are the analytical tools you're going to use to assess the strength of your strategy, design, is it working, etc.? And how do you learn from what you've done so that you have a closed loop system, that you're always a learning organization? So you take it back to the start to say, do we need to tweak what we've done? We've learned this after one cycle through and whatever, maybe we're going to adjust here. We're going to adjust there. Something changed in the environment, and we need to adjust our strategy. Our capstone course, or business planning, is going to have you look at several different types of organizations, international, entrepreneurial, high tech, etc., to understand their strategies, what they're doing, how they go about business planning. strategic business planning. You're going to be working on a project where you're going to develop a business plan for yourself, or take a look at a business and analyze their strategy. Do a final project, which will be a fairly in-depth, lengthy paper that goes through A to Z, everything about that business or business that you're going to be developing. And it's going to encompass all the things that have gone before you in the program. So it's going to encompass, you have a section on management and leadership. You have a section on information technology. You have a section on operations and supply chain, all the different things. It's bringing all your knowledge that you've gained in the previous parts of the program to bear on this particular course. And this course is the last course in the formal part of the curriculum. As I said, there are concentrations that you can take. So a general concentration is not quite sure what I want to do, but I think I want to create my own concentration, and I want to take one additional course from entrepreneurship, another course from finance, but I wanted to take a course on small business finance or something along those lines. And I really want to know if I'm thinking about starting a business, and maybe I want to get HR management or something from HR as a course. So you're going to design your own concentration in that general. And then there are hello. Then there are concentrations in adaptive leadership, business analytics, entrepreneurship, finance, HR management, IO psychology, information technology, marketing, project management, and public administration. Generally, each concentration involves 3 courses, except for business analytics, where you'll need to take 4 courses for that particular concentration. So admissions, proficiency, and foundations, there is a computer proficiency requirement. I'm going to make the assumption that you know how to use a computer, or you're online today, and your use, as I say that, you have some understanding of, let's say, the Microsoft suite, PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Word. Math proficiency require Math 20, which is intermediate algebra, that you have that proficiency. Graduate writing proficiency requirement, that you can write at a grad school level. There's a proficiency in writing exam that's assessed in the very beginning of the first term that you're in. There's an English language proficiency requirement if English is not your native language. The GMAT and the GRE are not required for admissions to the MBA program. Applying to GGU, you're going to submit an application at no charge with an application waiver code for attending today's webinar. Mike will put that information in the chat so that you have the waiver code. I would just say, as that's going to be sent to you also via email, and be sure to check your spam, because sometimes you say, I didn't get the waiver code. You really did, but it's in your spam, and you need to, so make sure you check both parts of your email. You'll go to the website that you see here to apply. You need to have a minimum of a 3.0 undergraduate GPA, an official degree conferred undergraduate or postgraduate transcript is required. No GMAT or GRE. Resume is recommended that you submit along with your application. And a resume and statement of purpose is required if your undergraduate GPA was below 3.0. It's optional if it was above 3.0. So what we're looking for in that statement of purpose is, if you were below 3.0 in your studies as an undergraduate, why? What caused you to be below 3.0? It may have been a personal situation. It may have been something that happened in your life. It may be that you just weren't working hard enough, you can admit that and then talk about here's what you're going to do if you were admitted to an MBA program, how you're going to change that. But that's something we want to see, so that what we're trying to do with that is, if you're admitted, we want you to be successful. And we want to understand what are the challenges that you had, and make an assessment along that. I will tell you that every single MBA application that comes into the university, I review personally. So I will read and see what your resume and your statement of purpose says. International students, TOEFL and IELTS scores, and also a resume are some things that you'll submit with your application. Now let's talk about the executive MBA. And I'm going to go over this a little bit more quickly than I have on the other program. The executive MBA, the program highlights are, it's designed for experienced managers. So it's designed for someone that has 5 or more years of management experience, not 5 or more years of work experience, but management experience. So they've been managing a team of people, they've been managing a department or a function, and they are looking to take the next step in their career to advance to a higher management position within their organization. There's 4 pillars. It's focused on management and leadership skills to advance your management career. Business context knowledge to function ethically, legally, and competitively. It's going to provide essential analytical knowledge to make sound business decisions, and functional knowledge and its convergence to formulate and implement business strategies successfully. As I just said, it's designed for mid to upper level managers wanting to learn or advance their management skills to succeed in a competitive environment. Experienced management professional looking for an accelerated and concentrated program to gain business management and leadership knowledge and skills. And management professionals want to connect with influential local business leaders and other high potential management professionals in an academic setting. The program is offered on a cohort basis. So you're going to go through with a group of students throughout the entire program. Your cohort's going to be comprised of students with managerial experience. Can come from many different industries. So not necessarily that everyone's going to come with a marketing background or everyone's involved in this particular healthcare industry, et cetera. So you're going to have the ability to get different points of view from from students with multiple background experience. The class schedule is a 16-month program in 4 15-week terms. One of the features of this program is you know the day you start, you're going to know the day that you end. There is 3 to 4 courses per term. It's collaborative and team learning, so you'll be doing a lot of projects together in a team. The blended courses, there's in-person classes every other Saturday and online sessions between in-person meetings. So you'll meet for most of the day on a Saturday, and then for the next 13 days, you're going to be in an online environment pursuing the assignments that you have and interacting with students in an online environment. You're going to come back and perhaps present some of the information or assignments that you had back in class on that 14th day, so that there's both in-person and online. Excellent return on investment, higher return than the vast majority of executive MBA programs. And the program is taught again by scholar practitioners active in dynamic companies throughout the Bay Area, and the program content is instantly applicable to your workplace. The timing again is at 16 months, so you're going to complete an executive MBA at an accelerated pace. Every single semester, you'll take 3 courses. So as opposed to the MBA where you can say, I think for this one semester, I'm going to cut back to this, take 1 course and whatever. You can't do this with this program. Everyone's going through at the same pace in a cohort model. The curriculum, as you look at this overall curriculum here, you will see that many of the things that are covered here are the same things that are covered in the MBA program. But you'll see next to some things, in term 1, accounting essentials for executives. So we're going to give you accounting essentials, but with an executive lens. What do executives need to know? Or in term 2, you'll see data analysis for managers. Again, you need to have an understanding of statistics, but how would a manager be utilizing statistics? How would an executive be utilizing statistics for data analysis? Or finance for executive decision making? Understanding finance, but now how's that going to influence as I make decisions at an executive level? Marketing for executives. So you're going to see that that's woven throughout. The first term is where you're going to take 4 courses: accounting essentials and economics of marketplace. Is each of those courses is 7.5 weeks, adds up to your 15 weeks. For that particular course, you're going to do teamwork and management. You're going to have an additional courses, which is going to be personal leadership. So to really understand yourself, who you are, how you make decisions, how you lead. It's a great introspective course to have you have a real understanding of yourself. You can see all the courses here, and I'm not going to go in to talk about each one in depth. I will say there is a course here in the 4th term on managing in a global environment, because we operate in certainly a global environment today. What we do here in the United States truly does matter. Perhaps in India, or what India is doing matters in China, or matters in Australia, or matters here in the US. So you have to think not only locally, but globally. So that course is going to talk about that global environment. The course in red is your capstone course for the program. It's going to be, again, talking about formulating and implementing business strategy from an executive viewpoint. The course, that course features a presentation at the end from teams that have been formulated out of the cohort, where you be presenting a 40 to 50 page PowerPoint presentation on a business that you have examined and analyzed in depth. The special topics that you see below, these are throughout the entire university. We have 15-week terms, but we also have a 16th week. And we offer topics on how you might utilize poker for business decision making. Understanding businesses' role in providing affordable housing. Could be any number of different things, but they're topics designed for you to get a greater understanding of the world around you. They are not for credit. They are completely free of charge, and we bring in some outstanding speakers to present on those topics. Admissions requirements for the executive MBA: a bachelor's degree, need an official transcript, 5 or more years of management experience. We're going to evaluate you on your GPA, professional background, quantitative proficiency, writing skills, interpersonal skills. There's an employee recommendation letter. You will also submit your own letter of why you should be admitted to the program, why you're interested in pursuing an executive MBA. There's an admissions interview with me, probably about an hour interview, where we'll talk about your application. You can submit the application at no charge with an application waiver code. The cost of the program is $75,000. There are scholarships available for that reduce the cost of the program approximately 50%. If you're admitted to the program, and there's the ability to apply for the scholarships for the program. So which MBA path is right for you? Well, it's really up to you. First, how you pursue your education. Do I want to do online? Do I want to do hybrid? Do I want to do a combination of both? Do I want to do some in-person? Do I want to take courses in the evening? Do I want to do a weekend executive MBA? Education today is very much student-centric from a standpoint of you're in the driver's seat. You pick out what's right for your work-life balance. We try to offer programs that meet the needs for you in a flexible manner. We have great student support services. There's graduate student advising. There are math, writing, finance, and accounting tutors. So for writing, you're writing something, you can submit your first draft of whatever you're writing for a course. A tutor or a writing center will take a look at that, make suggestions, give you some feedback. They're not going to write it for you, but they will give you some feedback on your writing to help you improve your writing. That's always available, and the other courses that are mentioned there. There's a career center. As you're thinking about what's next with my career, great resources available there. We have a Helen Diller Center for Veterans of the U.S. Military Services. As our veteran population pursues education, and this is a great resource to provide tips for success, understand how to take advantage of veteran benefits in pursuit of education, etc. We have a great library and research services. I will tell you that as you do work at the university, you're going to have to do more than just present information from Google. So there's a lot of other databases and other sources of information out there as you do research for term papers, etc. There's 24/7 technical support so that whenever you're accessing your education, you can be sure that you can get on the system. We have mentorship programs through GGU Connect. There's financial aid. Financial aid department really is going to sort of kick in after you've been admitted. And now you're thinking about, how do I finance my education? And they can give you some great insights into the best way to go about doing that. And I take advantage of that, because for education, the last thing, you don't want to end up that you're just deeply in debt. And you're thinking about, how am I ever going to get out? How am I ever going to pay this off? So you really want to think about it and have a plan as you start, so that you can be, that's not a worry as you're pursuing your education. Disability services, you may have a learning difference. You may have dyslexia, ADHD, something along those lines, and you require additional time to be able to do papers, or additional time to be able to take a test. So disability services department is there to assist you with that. And there's wellness resources that focus not only on your physical health, but also your mental health. And those are accessible at the university. As I said, the Career Center is going to help you with career consulting, workshops and webinars, internship searches, networking events, resume critiques and mock interviews, and how to optimize your online profile through our relationship with LinkedIn. I talked a little bit about financing your degree. Again, this is going to be primarily after you've been admitted. Now you're going to fill out the financial aid application, fill out the FAFSA form. Our institutional code is there. I don't expect you to remember that right this moment. That would certainly be provided to you. And then talk about the wide range of private alternative loans, state aid loans, federal loans, employer reimbursement program. Employers, major employers, there's about $80 billion in education benefits, and oftentimes much of that goes unused. So check with your employer if they have a reimbursement program that is approximately $5,500 to $5,600 a year for reimbursement that can take upwards of $15,000 to $16,000 off your education costs. And then there's scholarships. Mike, what are the fall term registration start?
Our fall term classes start September 3rd, and with international students, our F1 for this program start date is August 29th. So for those of you who are looking to start school for the fall term, you have a couple months to go. And of course, for international students, the sooner we've received your submitted application, the sooner we are able to initialize the admissions process for you, and the more time and flexibility you have in the later I-20 and the visa process. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks. All right, and we will take, Mike and I will take some questions and try to provide you with answers. I'm going to stop sharing. And let's see. What is the G's? Narul, did I answer that for you? It's a 3.0 GPA requirement. So you already answered that. Anything that hasn't been answered, let's see. Someone asked, what's the state rank and US rank of GGU and the MBA? What I will tell you is GGU is accredited higher education institution. We have an excellent reputation for our MBA. Our MBA, actually, of our peers in the Greater Bay Area, we have a great return on investment as you pursue your MBA, so that institutions that maybe cost $200,000 plus to pursue an education, they have a return on investment, a starting salary of, let's say, $115,000 to $125,000 compared to our $49,000 in a starting salary in the $90,000 range. So excellent competitive on that basis. We were also ranked as the #1 university in the United States for adult learners for 4 years running. So that we have an excellent reputation as we work with adult learners. Let's see, what else? I'm not sure if I'm covering everything here. There's a lot of things here in the chat, but if anyone has a live question, be happy to try to answer it.
I will respond to some of the international students' inquiry to me on the background regarding scholarships. If you are an F1 student who need F1 visa to start school, you do not need to submit a separate application for scholarship. Once again, if you are F1 students, you don't need to submit a separate application for scholarships. We have streamlined the scholarship process embedded with the admissions process. So after you are admitted to the program, you work with us on the I-20 documents and other requirements. And before we are ready to issue you the I-20, we will forward your file to determine if you qualify for any one of the international scholarships we offer. And if you do, you will receive the scholarship award from email before classes start. The process is automated. Once again, if you are F1 students, get yourself admitted to the program, work on the I-20 items, and before we are able to issue you the I-20, we will forward your file to determine for scholarship eligibility. If you are awarded with one, you get the award letter before classes begin. The process is automated.
Other questions? I see your hand.
Yeah, sir. I'm a former U.S. Army sergeant. I've been working for 7 years. I mean, now I'm retired. I'm just now living in Germany, in Berlin, studying for my bachelor degree right now. And I really wanted to know, understanding more about offerings for the upcoming spring 2024 semester. I would really appreciate if you could provide me with information regarding whether there will be any full-time business graduate programs available for this upcoming year in 2024. Additionally, should such a program be available, could you kindly inform me about the anticipate start date for these courses? Because I don't want to wait until fall to begin with my graduate program. I don't know if you guys offer any graduate program that begins in January for full time. I'm personally interested in.
Yeah, you saw that we have 3 rolling semesters: fall, spring, and summer. Spring is starting in January and goes.
So that's full time, right?
Spring goes from January to April. Summer goes from May to August. Fall goes from September through December. For each of those, there's full ability to pursue full-time education.
Awesome. And when can I actually put in my application for those programs? Starting now or not? Because I'm still writing my thesis right now in Berlin University right here in Germany. And I think I'm getting my official transcript by the middle of October. And I'm thinking about coming back to the States, to San Francisco, maybe like by the beginning of the month of December of this year. And I'm trying to get into school, hopefully. If you guys say yes to me, everything's good to go, then January, whenever you guys begin the class, I'll be there.
So the answer would be this. You can apply for the spring semester or the spring semester.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to focus in on the fall semester. So that's the first thing. You could apply. Say that you don't have an undergraduate degree yet. I think that's
right now. I don't have it yet, but I think I'm getting my official transcript by the middle of October this year.
So you could apply, and it might be a conditional admissions pending receipt of undergraduate official transcript with satisfactory completion. So we'll take a look at grades, etc. So it might be more of a conditional admissions, not a full admissions, until we actually have that documentation.
Okay, so all right.
If I may jump in a little bit, will you be planning to apply for your GI benefits with your new education in US?
Yes. I'm thinking about using the VA, the GI Bill, the 9/11 Chapter 33. If you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
You've heard it. Yes, I'm going to use that for sure.
So realistically speaking, there's a limit on how many veteran students a school is able to accept for a certain class. You mentioned that you're writing a thesis. I assume you are currently undergoing your undergraduate years?
Yes, that's my last semester. I'm getting my degree by October.
Okay. So the spring term is a realistic term for you.
Yes, I wanted to get into the program as soon as possible.
Yeah, so we will most likely be officially processing spring applications from as early as late August. I think that you could consider, doing some more research about GGU first and our programs. Once you have make up the decision to apply, submit an online application for the spring 2024 term. In the application, make sure you list yourself as veteran, and make sure you list yourself that you will be using the GI benefits. So the enrollment counselor who have the chance to read through your submit application and be able to guide you further on that.
Thank you so much, sir. And I actually have a list, which program I wanted to, actually studying in the MBA. I have MBA, I have it. Executive Master of Public Administration, Executive Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Leadership, Master of Science in Project Management. Those are all the programs I'm really interested in. And when is going to be the deadline for me to submit my application? if it begins.
So we are on a
August?
rolling admission. We are on a rolling admission. So we don't have a strict deadline to submit applications. For you, because you don't need to go through the visa process. There's more flexibility on your side. You just need to get yourself admitted and afterwards register for the classes. So for the spring 2024 terms, you have plenty of time to go and to think about which program you go. I would suggest you also take a look at, because when you register for the webinar, you will also be able to see other webinars available. I can see that you are thinking about which program to go. Feel free to join our other program webinars as well in the meantime, so you can make up your mind.
Okay. Okay, sounds good to me too. Thank you, sir. Let me just mute myself.
And for CL, I really appreciate it would be best for you to submit an online application first. The reason is because after you have submitted your application, you'll be assigned with an enrollment counselor who will work with you throughout the admissions process. The enrollment counselor will not be me. It will be someone dedicated, and he or she will understand your specific circumstance. This is especially important for our F1 students with foreign credentials, because when we take a look at each submitted application, we'll be able to know what country you're from, what country you have the bachelor's or master's degree, and be able to guide you forward into the specific type of items we need in order to push for review. This is different than those with US credentials. That's why I am trying to stress once again, it's important for you to submit an online application first, so we will be able to know better on your specific circumstance and be able to guide you forward.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, we are at the top of the hour. I did put my contact information in the chat. So if there's a question or some thought that you had that you weren't able to express today or you think about afterwards, you can certainly reach out to me and I will try to answer. And I wish you great success in your educational journey. I hope that from what you've heard today that you choose Golden Gate University to pursue your MBA education.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
You're welcome. For your convenience, I have already pasted the actual application fee referral code. I'm just doing it for a personal favor in case if you missed our follow email. The follow email usually will get sent 48 hours from today, but just in case if you didn't get the follow email, check the private chat right now as I'm pasting it once again. So you don't miss anything, okay? The code is valid right now, effective immediately. So, but of course, I would highly suggest you do some more research on whether GGU is a fit for you. And the next step is to submit an online application to initialize the admissions process. Thank you.
Thank you.